Hey everybody, welcome back. This is JQ. Today we're doing the next episode of Mass Effect. We're jumping back into it. I'm recording from a new location, so I don't feel 100% comfortable and settled in yet. But regardless, I have taken a break from gaming for the past few days, and I'm very excited to jump back into this story and this world and these characters. This is awesome. This is exactly what I'm looking for right now.
I'm glad you're okay, Commander. The crew could use some good news after what happened to Jenkins.
Oh, jeez. That's right, Jenkins got messed up in 2 seconds. It really sucks.
Jenkins was a valuable part of this crew.
Part of me feels guilty over what happened. If Jenkins was still alive, I might not be here.
Now you earned it.
You're a good soldier, Williams. You belong on the Normandy.
Thanks, Commander. I appreciate that.
So how are you holding up?
Things were pretty rough down there. Are you okay?
I've seen friends die before. Comes with being a Marine. But to see my whole unit wiped out, and you never get used to seeing dead civilians. But things would have been a lot worse if you hadn't shown up.
You did something.
We couldn't have done it without you, Williams.
Thanks, Commander. I have to admit, I was a little worried about being assigned to the Normandy. It's nice when someone makes you feel welcome.
Well, I don't know. I'm glad to have you.
I think you're gonna fit in here just fine, Williams.
Thanks, Commander.
Yes, Commander? Is there something you need?
How did you end up serving on an Alliance ship?
I enlisted right out of med school. Earth always seemed boring to me. Too safe, too secure. I figured the colonies were teeming with exotic adventure. I wanted to travel the stars, tending the wounds of tough soldiers with piercing eyes and sensitive souls. Turns out military life isn't quite as romantic as I'd imagined. But humanity needs the Alliance if we want to keep expanding through the Traverse, and the Alliance always needs good doctors. So I stayed on to do my part.
Ever think you made the wrong choice?
Sometimes I think about opening a private practice back on Earth, or maybe taking a position at one of the new med centers out in the colonies. But there's something special about working on soldiers. If I left the Alliance now, I'd feel like I was abandoning them.
What do you know about Captain Anderson?
I've served with him for a few tours now. He knows when to let things slide and when to crack the whip. The crew knows he's seen pretty much anything they'll ever run into. And he cares about the people under his command.
How well do you know the lieutenant?
I'd never worked with him before this mission. But he has an impressive service record, over a dozen special commendations. Tends to keep to himself, though. Maybe because of the headaches. It's not easy being an L2.
What does that have to do with it?
Well, most biotics now use the L3 implants. Lieutenant Alenko was wired with the old L2 configuration. Sometimes there are complications.
What kind of complications?
Severe mental disabilities, insanity, crippling physical pain. There's a long list of horrific side effects. Caden's lucky. He just gets migraines.
I should go.
Goodbye, Commander.
Glad to see you're okay, Commander.
I guess he doesn't have much to say. Oh, look at this. This is the captain's quarters. what it looks like.
Go speak to Joker when you're ready. Tell him to bring the Normandy into dock.
Oh, that's right. I forgot that's what our objective was. These folks got anything to say? No, we can't even hear what they're talking about. Don't really care about our lockers at the moment. There's no reason to activate the elevator, is there? Doesn't this just take us up? Yes, it does. Although, I'm gonna run down and check it out because there might be cool stuff to look at. Might as well get to know our ship, right? Let's take a look around here. It says in the Normandy's vehicle bay, using a squad member's locker allows you to assign equipment to them. New equipment may be purchased from the requisition officer. So this is where we go to equip our squad mates. We've got the requisition officer here.
Hey, Commander. Looking for some extra supplies before you head out?
What have you got?
Whatever you want. Armor, weapons, mods. It's not standard Alliance issue, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. Well, as long as you don't mind paying for it.
Why should I pay you for my weapons and armor?
My stuff doesn't come from the Alliance. I have to purchase it myself, and it's not cheap. Hell, the licenses alone have set me back more than I'd like. But no licenses, no goods. Without the goods, I'm out of a job.
Yeah, we're gonna take a look at that stock, but let's ask him about these licenses.
What are licenses? Why do you need them?
Manufacturers sell licenses. Each license allows me to buy and sell a certain brand of products. I already have several basic ones, but you'll need to buy more if you want me to bring in different brands. Many of the best licenses are hard to get, but they're well worth the cost if you can find them.
What do the different manufacturers offer?
There are too many for me to keep track of, but each license will explain what it's good for.
How often will you get new items?
Well, that depends on how many licenses you've purchased, but I'll rotate items on a regular basis regardless. And anytime we land someplace with a big enough port, I'll buy, sell, and trade whatever I can. Check back often. I need to move items quickly, so only the most basic items will be stocked consistently.
Let's see what you've got.
You bet, Commander.
Okay, this stuff is expensive. Oh man, I'm glad I went with the soldier though, because I've always wanted to wear the heavy armor in Mass Effect, but I've never been able to. I've played the first 2 games and I beat them. I think I played as a Vanguard. These are always helpful, and those ones are cheap, so we're gonna just grab those. But the rest of this stuff is super expensive. We're gonna have to do a lot of stuff. Probably some grinding, but that's alright. That just gives us a chance to chat. Let's see, Caden, Ashley, I don't know if I really care that much, to be honest with you. It's probably fine for now. Most people probably don't even come down here on their first playthrough. I think I didn't. Engineer Adams. Looks important. Look at this thing. Element 0 core.
Shame about Jenkins, Commander.
Yeah, I agree. We got a field integrity monitor. Let's examine that. It's element 0 core. Well, let's check the codex. We already got a couple things here in the codex. Looks like Okay, we'll do the secondary ones first because I'll read these. So we got technology, the everyday pieces of technology that support the modern lifestyle. Biotics, biotic amps. I think this might have been from Dr. Chakwas. She told us about Caden, who's a biotic with the L2 implant. So it says biotics manipulate mass effect fields using dozens of element 0 nodules within their nervous systems that react to electric stimuli from the brain. Amplifiers allow biotics to synchronize the nodules so they can form fields large and strong enough for practical use. Amplifiers can improve a specific discipline or talent. An implant is a surgically embedded interface port into which amps are plugged in, quote unquote. On humans, the implant is usually placed at the base of the skull for convenient access, though the user must be careful to keep it free of contaminants. Implant ports can fit a variety of amps, and there is a growing market for modifications and add-ons. The finest quality implants and amps are manufactured by Asari artisans, but the Alliance's L3 implants, first deployed in 2170, are a significant step forward. Alright, and then we have more technology.
Biotics is the ability of rare individuals to manipulate dark energy and create mass effect fields through the use of electrical impulses from the brain. Intense training and surgically implanted amplifiers are necessary for a biotic to produce mass effect fields powerful enough for practical use. The relative strength of biotic abilities varies greatly among species and with each individual. There are 3 branches of biotics. Telekinesis uses mass-lowering fields to levitate or impel objects. Mass-raising kinetic fields are used to block or pin objects. Spatial distortion uses rapidly shifting mass fields to shred objects. Most organic species are capable of developing biotic abilities, though there are risks involved. Biotics are the result of an in utero exposure to element 0. This usually causes fatal cancers in the victim, but in rare cases, it coalesces into nodules within the fetus's developing nervous system.
Okay, so it seems like we might have gone through this one already, but let's check out the next one, Mass Effect Fields. What are these?
Element 0 can increase or decrease the mass of a volume of space-time when subjected to an electrical current. With a positive current, mass is increased. With a negative current, mass is decreased. The stronger the current, the greater the magnitude of the dark energy mass effect. In space, low-mass fields allow FTL travel and inexpensive surface-to-orbit transit. High-mass fields create artificial gravity and push space debris away from vessels. In manufacturing, low-mass fields permit the creation of evenly blended alloys, while high-mass compaction creates dense, sturdy construction materials. The military makes extensive use of mobility-enhancing technologies, with Mass Effect utilizing fighting vehicles standard frontline issue in most military forces. Mass Effect fields are also essential in the creation of kinetic barriers or shields to protect against enemy fire. Omni-tools are handheld devices that combine a computer microframe, sensor analysis pack, and manufacturing fabricator. Versatile and reliable, an Omni-tool can be used to analyze and adjust the functionality of most standard equipment, including weapons and armor, from a distance. The fabrication module can rapidly assemble small three-dimensional objects from common reusable industrial plastics, ceramics, and light alloys. This allows for field repairs and modifications to most standard items, as well as the reuse of salvaged equipment. Omni-tools are standard issue for soldiers and first-in colonists.
Alright, next up we can take a look at this Element 0 core. Let's take a look at this here. So what does it have to tell us about
Biotics
this?
When subjected to an electrical current, the rare material dubbed Element 0, or EZO, emits a dark energy field that raises or lowers the mass of all objects within it. This mass effect is used in countless ways, from generating artificial gravity to manufacturing high-strength construction materials. It is most prominently used to enable faster-than-light space travel. EZO is generated when solid matter, such as a planet, is affected by the energy of a star going supernova. The material is common in the asteroid debris that orbits neutron stars and pulsars. These are dangerous places to mine, requiring extensive use of robotics, telepresence, and shielding to survive the incredible radiation from the dead star. Only a few major corporations can afford the setup costs required to work these primary sources. Humanity discovered refined element zero at the Prothean Research Station on Mars, allowing them to create mass effect fields and develop FTL travel.
So these are basically just plot devices, is what I'm gathering. Alright, I think we're just about ready to go. Looked like there was some more stuff to check out on the ship, but that's alright. We're gonna go take a look at what we've got. Pop these doors open. Oh, he just saluted us. That's kind of sweet. This guy gonna do it too? Yes, he is. Oh, sick. FTL comlink. Examine that, get the codex entry. Let's see what that says. Oh, I gotta read this one. Okay, so this one's about communications. Real-time communication is possible thanks to networks of expensive mass relay comm buoys that can daisy-chain a transmission via lasers. Comm buoys are maintained in patterns built outward from each mass relay. The buoys are little more than a cluster of primitive miniature mass relays. Each individual buoy is connected to a partner on another buoy in the network, forming a corridor of low-mass space. Tight beam communications lasers are piped through these quote-unquote tubes of FTL space, allowing virtually instantaneous communication to anywhere on the network. The networks connect across regions by communications lasers through the mass relays. With this system, the only communications delay is the light lag between the source or destination and the closest buoy. So long as all parties remain within half a light second, which is 150,000 kilometers of buoys, seamless real-time communications are possible. Since buoys are maintained in all traveled areas, most enjoy unlimited instant communications. Ships only suffer communications lag when operating off established deep space routes, around uninhabited outer system gas giants and other unsettled areas. During wartime, comm buoy networks are the first target of attack. Once the network is severed, it can take anywhere from weeks to years to get a message out of a contested system. In systems where a buoy network has not yet been built or has been destroyed, rapid communication means ferrying information through high-speed courier ships and unmanned data drones. Whew, wow. Whoever created this game really thought all of this stuff out, like, thoroughly. Like, they didn't want to just make, like, a knockoff Star Wars or something. They were, like, they were really going for something more than that. This is insane. Only the commanding officer may specify a destination for the Normandy. So. Oh, that's right, we're Lieutenant Commander. Presley.
I'm glad you're okay, Commander. Losing Jenkins was hard enough on the crew.
Yeah. It's never easy to lose someone. Never. Nav Manual 1.4.1. Let's see what this has to tell us. So here's some military jargon. The systems alliance. Ashore. When a ship's crew leaves the vessel, they are ashore. Though normally used regarding planets, it can refer to boarding a space station. Away, when a ship releases the equipment tethering it to a space station or surface dock, it is away. Aye, aye. That's the proper way to acknowledge an order. If told to attack, the correct response is aye, aye, sir. If asked, are you proud to be a Marine, the correct response is yes, sir. So, orders you say aye, aye, sir, and questions you say yes, sir. ASAP, pronounced ASAP, and an acronym of as soon as possible, that one we know. Belay, stop, cease. Bridge, the navigation center of a spacecraft where the steering's done. Captain's mast, non-judicial disciplinary proceedings by unit commanders. CIC, Combat Information Center, the command center of a spacecraft. The CIC is filled with sensor displays to make sense out of the chaos of combat. DC, Damage Control, the containment and repair of damage to a spacecraft. ECM, electronic countermeasures used to avoid enemy sensors from passive emissions masking to active jamming. EVA, extravehicular activity, time spent in a pressure suit outside of a vehicle, spacecraft, or station. Flank. The flank is the side of a military formation. Since the soldiers are facing elsewhere, an enemy that can attack on the flank can often turn it or roll it up. FNG, quote-unquote, freaking new guys, a derisive term for inexperienced personnel. Ground side, the surface of a planet. Helmsman, the crew member who pilots a spacecraft. LADAR, light amplified detection and ranging, an active sensor that bounces lasers off an object to determine its bearing and distance. LADAR has sufficient resolution that the data can be reconstructed into an image. Shore party, spacecraft's crew was sent ashore on official business. Silent running, an old submariner's term used aboard the Normandy to denote when stealth systems are active. SITREP, abbreviation of Situation Report, an evaluation of the current military situation. Spacer, someone who has spent most of their life in space. XO, executive officer, the second in command of an Alliance warship. The XO is responsible for administrative and personnel matters. Alright. Does this game have anything to tell us before we dock here? So that was a lot of data dumping. Let's check. That was a lot of lore dumping.
Good timing, Commander. I was just about to bring us into the Citadel. See that taxpayer money at work.
Finally, taxpayer money at work.
Of that ship.
The Ascension, flagship of the Citadel fleet.
Well, size isn't everything.
Why so touchy, Joker?
I'm just saying you need firepower, too.
Look at that monster. Its main gun could rip through the barriers in any ship in the Alliance fleet.
Good thing it's on our side, then.
Citadel Control, this is SSV Normandy, requesting permission to land.
Stand by for clearance, Normandy. Clearance granted. You may begin your approach. Transferring you to an Alliance operator.
Roger, Alliance Tower. Normandy out.
Normandy, this is Alliance Tower. Please proceed to Dock 422.
This is an outrage! The Council would step in if the Geth attacked a Turian colony?
The Turians don't found colonies on the borders of the Terminus systems, Ambassador. Humanity was well aware of the risks when you went into the Traverse.
What about Saren? You can't just ignore a rogue Spectre. I demand action!
You don't get to make demands of the Council, Ambassador.
Citadel Security is investigating your charges against Saren. We will discuss the CSEC findings at the hearing, not before.
Captain Anderson, I see you brought half your crew with you.
Just the ground team from Eden Prime, in case you had any questions.
I have the mission reports. I assume they're accurate?
They are. Sounds like you convinced the Council to give us an audience.
They were not happy about it. Saren's their top agent. They don't like him being accused of treason.
They don't like him being accused of treason. Well, according to Captain Anderson, he's quite dangerous. So...
Saren's a threat to every human colony out there. He needs to be stopped. The Council has to listen to us.
Settle down, Commander. You've already done more than enough to jeopardize your candidacy for the Spectres. The mission on Eden Prime was a chance to prove you could get the job done. Instead, Nihilus ended up dead and the beacon was destroyed.
That's Saren's fault, not his.
Then we better hope the CSEC investigation turns up evidence to support our accusations. Otherwise, the Council might use this as an excuse to keep you out of the Spectres. Come with me, Captain. I want to go over a few things before the hearing. Shepard, you and the others can meet us at the Citadel Tower, top level. I'll make sure you have clearance to get in.
And that's why I hate politicians.
You know, it might be one thing that I agree with Ashley on. Important locations are marked on your map. You can click that button to check it. Follow the pulsing arrow on the radar to the Citadel Tower. The Citadel is one of my favorite locations in this game. And I feel like particularly in the first one, for some reason, it just... Like when I think of the Citadel, I think of the Citadel from Mass Effect 1. Do these guys have anything to say?
I can't tell the aliens from the animals.
Big place.
It is a big place, I'll give them that. This place is huge. Alright. Gotta do something here. Computer console, easy decryption, we can do that. Alliance Patrol Report. Captain Hendrickson reported some unusual energy readings during the patrol of the Argos Rho cluster. She had particular concerns about the Hydra system, but was recalled before her team could investigate further. No patrols are scheduled for that sector. Do we want to send in a recon team? And that updated our journal as well. While on the Citadel, you uncovered an Alliance patrol report. One of the patrols mentioned some strange activity in the Hydra system of the Argos Rho cluster. So we've got to go there and we've got to investigate those unusual readings. Which is fine, we completed the prologue, which is excellent, so we're on to our first real mission. Which is going to be here on the Citadel. We've got to expose Saren. You have to prove to the Citadel Council that Saren, one of their Spectre agents, has gone rogue. So go to the tower for an audience with the Council. And then it looks like the Codex updated as well.
The Citadel is an ancient deep space station, presumably constructed by the Protheans. Since the Prothean extinction, numerous species have come to call the Citadel home. It serves as the political, cultural, and financial capital of the galactic community. To represent their interests, most species maintain embassies on the Presidium, the Citadel's inner ring. The Citadel Tower in the center of the Presidium holds the Citadel Council chambers. Council affairs often have far-reaching effects on the rest of the galactic community. 5 arms, known as the Wards, extend from the Presidium. Their inner surfaces have been built into cities, populated by millions of inhabitants from across the galaxy. The Citadel is virtually indestructible. If attacked, the station can close its arms to form a solid, impregnable shell. For as long as the station has existed, an enigmatic race called the Keepers has maintained it.
I would love to know who the Keepers are.
The Council is an executive committee composed of representatives from the Asari Republics, the Turian Hierarchy, and the Solarian Union. Though they have no official power over the independent governments of other species, the Council's decisions carry great weight throughout the galaxy. No single Council race is strong enough to defy the other two, and all have a vested interest in compromise and cooperation. Each of the Council species has general characteristics associated with the various aspects of governing the galaxy. The Asari are typically seen as diplomats and mediators. The Solarians gather intelligence and information. The Turians provide the bulk of the military and peacekeeping forces. Any species granted an embassy on the Citadel is considered an associate member, bound by the accords of the Citadel Conventions. Associate members may bring issues to the attention of the Council, though they have no input on the decision. The Human Systems Alliance became an associate member of the Citadel in 2165.
So we only recently became an associate of the Citadel. Which, yeah, that's going to be a thing going forward, is that some of the other alien species do not like that humanity is rising through the galactic ranks so quickly. But we'll get there. I think I'm actually going to pause the episode here for now. Let me check how long this one. Alright, yeah, this is a nice long episode, so I want to thank you all for watching. Thank you for all the support on these videos, and I hope to see you guys in the next one. So, thanks again.